Action.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Tommy Sewell, the miniature painting tutor. I've spent the day at Radar Festival, or rather the weekend at Radar Festival, and most of the time I've spent in the proximity of this person here, which is Grant
Jones.
Grant Jones. There we go. I did obviously know your name, not your surname. I just wanted to chat to you and get your opinion on the event, and also the point of Element Games being here at the event, but also what you get out of it, because you tend to be incredibly passionate. You seem to care a lot about what we're doing here, and I've enjoyed listening to you.
So that is the point that I've been trying to get across, is that my heart and soul is in the hobby and the company as a whole. My aim this weekend was to get people to come to the desk, which I think I did quite well, and get them to break down the process of just starting a minute, just get the paint around the minute. It doesn't have to be a complicated thing. Learn how to lay paint, so then when you do your first coat of paint, it's not going to go in and it's not going to be like, amazing in the first coat. It's going to take 2 or 3 coats before you can move on to the next stage. But you need a good start, a good base to start off and spring, and then you can then eventually go on to the whole minute. And a lot of people have gone away, either learned a new thing, or there's a lot of people who've come to me this week and they've gone like, "Oh, I've got a pile of grey plastic or a pile of regret," and I said, what is it that you think's going wrong? And they'd be like, "Well, it's just the painting didn't go on right, or I don't know how to do one step to the next." And I'm like, "Okay, well, take a step back, sit down, grab a minute, and we'll go through the process, slow as you need, and we'll go through it." And they went away learning a new skill, like I said, and a newfound respect for painting.
What's been nice is how much you cared for every aspect about why a person might be sat there. You know, for example, you speak a lot about inclusivity, but also about how it should feel to be painted emotionally. And the fact that you've cared so much for so many different people while I've been here, because I've spent most of my time here. I could be watching awesome bands in there, but I'm not. I'm sat here with you and enjoying the atmosphere. And part of this is habit on my part, but it could have been made worse. Yeah, but it wasn't. It was made better. So
I'm glad that you've been able to join in yourself and just come. And you was a great example of just, even if you know how to paint, even if you're an enthusiast or you're top level or you're just a beginner, it doesn't matter what your level is.
Yeah.
Come and sit down and just grab a brush and get painted. And then and the amount of people who've just done that, like, not just yourself, there's been a bunch of people who are like, "Oh well, I used to do it a few years ago," and I'm like, "Okay, so you've got something already, got some thing that you know, there's some techniques and all that. But is there anything I can help that makes it simpler for you to break it down?" A lot of the time, it would be, I'm starting from the beginning, like, say to him like why the primer stage is important to adhere paint to, because just this plastic, it's just going to make the paint run off or not adhere properly. But then they're already primed, so they skip that stage. It's just explain why that stage is important. But then the most important stage is having a good solid foundation to work from. So
absolutely.
So for instance, going from, we've got a bunch of minis. For example, we've got this Zombicide mini where it's
Big fat butcher type person.
it's some
Like a chubby lady, isn't it?
but you go from that to then being able to, over the course of the event, I've been getting people to just do like the base coat, just get the paint on, like I said, and then slowly I'll teach them steps like, now you've got your base coat, you've got your skin coat. So if it's a zombie, it's gonna look a bit irritated, it's gonna be a bit diseased. So then I show them how to do like washes to be able to get into the recesses to create shade, to create different contrasts and highlights. And
So
then-
is this one of yours?
so this is what one of the people. This is just a random person who just sat down with it.
Right, here we go. So compliments. This is a really nice, neat, well-placed base coat and wash.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you've taught that person that.
Yeah.
And that really counts because when you talk about a good foundation, the introduction to the hobby is an important foundation, but also the skills learned in there, because that can make or break a painter going forward. And the fact that this is something you care about and I care about a lot,
Yeah.
it
One of
really
the
matters, man.
Key points I always made to every single person is the way that you sat to, like, say, the table, to your own hobby desk, whether it's your room, whether it's your dining table, whether it's, you know, you've got your paints out on all on your mother's kitchen table, whatever. Anyway, but it's the
Actually, you know
way-
what's on my mother's kitchen table?
Well,
Go
so
on.
it's the way that, like, you station yourself. Like I always said, like, plant your elbows on the table,
Yeah.
like support your weight in that. Put your hands together, so then the only thing that's moving is your two fingers that are, like, actually doing the paint, and then you're just focusing on the model. You're not focusing on, like, keeping yourself up and then
Posture and structure.
That's it.
Is what you're talking
good,
about.
good posture and structure, and then the mini is the only thing that matters, and how you're applying paint using the steps that I've already told them.
So on top of that, one of the things I caught you talking about, which I never hear anyone but me talk about, is the breath. You were talking earlier on about the way you breathe can help create cleaner state of affairs.
Yeah.
And that it's nice that you paid that much attention, not just to give the information, but to spot that that's something that somebody needs.
Yeah, because I've heard two different ways of doing it with minis, where to get, like, your hand steady or your concentration. Some people hold their breath between strokes to get that plus line, and for me, it's like I find myself straining, or like I feel myself, like, clogging up a bit. I get heated in my body, rather than just take a chilled approach. Take a step back, and then breathe nice and slowly, control yourself, and then just go in and just the same thing I've been saying to everyone. Just relax, take your time, stick on Alexa, stick on a film in the background to just, listen to some music, and like, every single one of them is going away going like, yeah, that makes sense.
What's something cool you might like to know or not? I don't know. You let me know. But when it comes to the breath, either a gentle in hold and then paint is good, or if you try to do a steady line, breathe out at the same speed and spirit of the line itself.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, like in a
You settle in, never on an in breath,
no,
never while breathing. And if you ever do, the other thing to consider with breathing is don't breathe on your model or on your brush because you're drying it out.
It's very much the same as, like, having a rhythm, like, say, at the gym when you do your reps and, like, you take your breaths, and the better you do your breaths, say, like you say, breathe out when you do the stroke, and you then get better control because you're not focusing on the breath as much, but you're focusing on the painting and the model. And so you're focusing on your technique, and that's where I say you're always improving. Like, even if you're at the first ever time you paint it to the next model that you do, you're always improving. And I said to him, I'd let them, like, keep the model, and they're like,
Yeah.
keep it, because that's a reference point for the first mini that you painted. And so when you go on in the future to paint more minis, you can then look at the very first mini you've ever done, and they'll be like, that's where I came from. Is this the level I'm at now?
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm just going to say hello. So.
Oh, dude. Nice
Sorry,
one.
don't mean to
Oh, that's all right. I'll see you in a bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you watching Animals as Leaders in a bit? Animals as Leaders?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you there.
You be there Wednesday.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, no, not yet.
See you later.
See you in a bit.
So the one thing I want them to go away and have the most value with is that they've had fun today. They've come. I had people on Saturday just here for like 3 hours solid,
So,
just painting and just doing the minute and doing the steps I taught them, and then they go away, you take the minute, and they got something free to take with them, and they really thoroughly enjoy that. And then, like I said, they got a nice reference point where they first started, and then when they go in future, hopefully they continue the hobby and their hopefully newfound passion. They can then look at that first model and be like, that's where I came from. That's where everyone's got a first model. It looks absolute shit.
Yeah.
But that's the whole process of like eventually you improve. Like I always told him like I'm no expert in this. Like I'm no influencer or anything like that. But what I want is I can break down the steps and show them that even if you're not like, you know, all the YouTube stars that you idolize or someone you've seen online who can paint like really nice like edge highlight, make it like non-metallic metal, like I look at that and I'm like, how the hell do you do that? And then but for me, I can set myself up for success if I get a good like base.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the key. When you think about any brushstroke used in non-metal metallics, a lot of the time it can be exactly the same brushstroke you use for base coating.
And it can be the same mind theory, like just where you start, you set a good foundation, like for instance with gold, like you get the brown as a dark the shadow undercoat, and then you get a brighter yellow, and eventually work up to like nice yellow to get that like shine off, and then mimic what gold looks like, and it's that like do one paint, do base coat, do your layer, then do your edge highlight, but it's how you control your brush and your paint is like in my opinion.
So all those things you said, they're all in the base coating skill. So the moment you make that your foundation and you start really working on a your base coat, everything else will fall into place a lot easier as a mechanic.
Yeah, and the first minute, like everyone sees like heavy metal style because it's the box art. It's to exaggerate every single panel and make it look good and stand out. It's not realistic, but it is a goal that, say, if you wanted to paint for Games Workshop and you're like, I want to just give that a go. It's a good thing to just. This is where like taking that first model is gonna like come into play. Where their first model trying to hand out heavy metal, for instance, they're gonna try it. It's gonna look a bit terrible. The lines are gonna be not on the edge of the panel to highlight it. So then they use that. They let that dry and then look at it and then go, okay, the next model, I'll try it. Try it differently. I'll try it, be a bit more steady. I always recommend a painting handle, any type of painting handle, to just anchor your finger and like get that steadiness. And then the next time they start upgrading their equipment and start using like ways to stabilize your hand and get that like nice crisp line and just use the tip of your brush. Then they'll start to slowly see the improvement over model to model, and then they'll eventually appreciate like that it becomes habit, and then habit becomes second nature.
That's it, innit? And that's it. You make it all second nature, and you improve once everything you've learned becomes second nature. You allow space for the next thing to be learned, so you just got to keep going. Essentially,
a lot of them ask me as well, like how do I just keep painting like minis, and how do I keep doing it? I just do it. Like, but the important thing is also allow yourself to take a break. Like,
absolutely.
Put the mini down. For instance, you do the first base coat. Put the mini down. Let it dry. Go make a cup of tea. Like,
cup of tea sounds good. Oh, do you want a cup of tea? Should we do it? Grant, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Element Games. Radar Festival. And I spent 2 days painting this. It's now his.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Nice one, guys. See you all later.